People who got kicked out at 18, how did you manage to get back on your feet? Part 2. The first few months were brutal. I didn't have a steady job and I was eating cheap food and sometimes going without meals just to make rent. I felt completely alone, and it was hard not to resent my mom for kicking me out, especially when it felt like I had nothing, but I wasn't going to let myself become a victim. So I started looking for any opportunity that would help me get by, and I got hired at McDonald's. And even though it didn't pay much, it was enough to get me started. And the more I worked, the more I realized that if I kept pushing, I would make it. But it wasn't going to be easy, and I had no choice. I wasn't just working to survive. I taught myself how to budget, save, and avoid debt. I read everything I could about managing money and slowly started to save up to move into a better apartment. So over time, I picked up more skills and eventually got a better paying job as a caterer in a fancy restaurant. And although it wasn't glamorous, it was a much more stable job afterwards. I enrolled in community college, trying to give myself more opportunities. But the most important thing I learned was how to be independent. I had to build my life from scratch without anyone to fall back on. And by my mid-20s, I was no longer living paycheck to paycheck and eventually got a career in tech. And while it wasn't exactly what I dreamed of, but it was a solid foundation, and I'm still working hard